March 1941. Europe is deep in the shadow of German occupation. France has fallen, Norway has been seized, and Britain now stands alone, fighting for survival in a world where the Axis war machine seems unstoppable. Across the continent, German forces appear unchallenged, their advance relentless, their grip tightening. But far to the north, on a chain of remote islands above the Arctic Circle, a British plan is taking shape. One designed not to win the war outright, but to prove that the war can still be fought. The Lofoten Islands, scattered like stepping stones along the Norwegian coast, may seem insignificant at first glance. Rugged, isolated, and shaped by fishing communities that had endured centuries of winter storms, the islands sat far from the main fronts of the conflict. But in 1941, they held a surprising importance. Deep within the fishing villages and processing plants of the Lofotens, Norwegian workers produced vast quantities of fish oil, an unlikely but essential ingredient in the German war machine. Through chemical refining, fish oil could be turned into glycerin, a key component in the manufacture of explosives. For Germany, these quiet northern islands were a dependable source of industrial fuel. For Britain, they represented an opportunity. By early 1941, Britain was in dire need of opportunities. The military was rebuilding after the evacuation at Dunkirk. The army was short of heavy equipment. The RAF was still expanding. The Royal Navy, although formidable, could not strike everywhere at once. Britain needed victories, small ones, symbolic ones, moments that would raise morale at home and unsettle the occupying forces abroad. This strategic need gave rise to a new kind of soldier, the British Commando. Trained for raids, sabotage, infiltration, and rapid withdrawal, the Commandos represented a fresh approach to warfare. Small forces, carefully targeted, striking where the enemy least expected.
Operation Claymore would be one of their earliest major missions. The objective was simple in outline, but complex in execution. Land on the Lofoten Islands, destroy fish oil factories, capture German shipping, gather intelligence, take prisoners, and withdraw before the enemy could respond. Every part of the plan depended on speed, surprise, and precise timing. In late February 1941, the strike force departed from Scapa Flow under strict radio silence. The Arctic route was treacherous. Icy winds, unpredictable currents, and freezing spray battered the decks of the Royal Navy destroyers carrying the Commandos. But the darkness of the northern winter provided natural concealment. For days, the task force slipped through frigid waters, navigating through fog, sleet, and the vast silence of the Norwegian Sea. In the early hours of March the 4th, the Lofoten Islands came into view. Mountains rising sharply from the sea, their slopes dark against the pale glow of the approaching dawn. Destroyers slowed as they approached landing points near the fishing villages of Stamsund, Henningsvær, Svolvær, and Brettisnes. Commandos boarded small landing craft, checking their weapons, tightening straps, and preparing for the dash to shore. Engines hummed quietly. Officers whispered final instructions. Every man knew the importance of surprise. When the first landing craft touched the beaches, it became clear that the planners had been correct. German resistance was minimal. The occupying forces were spread thin, unprepared for an assault so deep inside their territory. Many soldiers were taken completely off guard. Communications posts were secured quickly, preventing German units from sending immediate warnings. British commandos moved swiftly through the villages, clearing buildings, securing docks, and rounding up German troops. Residents, startled at first, quickly emerged to wave, assist, or offer information. In some places, factory workers helped identify key machinery that the raiders needed to destroy. Explosives were placed on storage tanks and refining equipment. Soon, the sky darkened with smoke as fish oil factories erupted in flames. their valuable stores destroyed in carefully controlled demolitions. As the raid unfolded, Royal Navy engineers scuttled or seized German shipping in the harbours. Several vessels were sunk, burned, or captured intact. One of these ships, a modest German trawler named Krebs, carried something far more valuable than oil or supplies. When commandos boarded the vessel, they discovered Enigma cipher wheels, signal instructions, and naval codebooks. These items were immediately secured and sent back to Britain, destined for Bletchley Park. In the months and years that followed, codebreakers would use material like this to help penetrate German naval communications, improving Allied chances in the Battle of the Atlantic. What appeared to be a minor intelligence find would quietly contribute to saving thousands of lives. Meanwhile, throughout the villages, commandos continued their work. More than 8 factories were destroyed, dealing a serious blow to Germany's supply of explosive precursors. Dozens of German prisoners were taken, and then something unexpected happened. Hundreds of Norwegian civilians approached the British ships, requesting evacuation. Many were sailors, fishermen, or workers with skills valuable to the Allied cause. Over 300 Norwegian volunteers boarded the British vessels, choosing resistance over occupation. Their departure provided an emotional lift back home and strengthened the Free Norwegian forces, who would go on to support Allied operations throughout the war. By early afternoon, the objectives had been achieved. The commandos re-embarked, prisoners were secured, Norwegian volunteers were taken aboard, and demolition teams completed final charges. The Royal Navy ships withdrew, leaving behind burning factories, destroyed supplies, and stunned German administrators. As the task force sailed back toward Britain, it carried not only the satisfaction of a successful mission, but also invaluable intelligence that would soon prove its worth. Operation Claymore was a small raid in the grand scope of the war, but its impact echoed far beyond the Arctic islands. It forced Germany to divert troops, aircraft, and coastal defences to Norway, resources that could not be used on other fronts. It demonstrated the effectiveness of Britain's new commando units. It strengthened Allied intelligence efforts, and it reassured occupied nations that Britain remained capable of striking back, even in the darkest moments of the conflict. In March 1941, the war's outcome was anything but certain. Victory was distant, and the challenges ahead were immense. But on a cold morning in the Lofoten Islands, a carefully planned raid showed that small operations, executed with precision and courage, could carry strategic weight far beyond their size. Operation Claymore became a quiet but powerful reminder that Germany's dominance was not absolute, that the Allies remained determined, and that even in a world under occupation, resistance was still possible. And so, in the harsh light of an Arctic dawn, as flames rose from the shattered factories of the Lofotens, Britain found something precious. Proof that it could still strike, still adapt, and still fight. Operation Claymore did not win the war, but it ensured that the struggle for Europe continued, and that Germany would never again assume the North was beyond the reach of Allied hands.